All right, so I've had this desire to do more flow of consciousness vlog style videos that are low production, that are not really planned, that are just me sharing what's going on in my life. And I've been really inspired by the podcast How I Built This and a lot of other business podcasts where it's just founders talking about their story and sharing what took them from 0 to 1 and then from 1 to wherever they're at. And I don't feel like I've had anything to share in that realm of like how I had success until now. And it's not like we've blown up and become this like massive company and I've been able to make all this money. But Ritual Organics, this tallow SPF company that my wife and I started about a year ago, just within the last 2 months or so has gone from 0 to 1, truly. It has gone from making a sale once every couple weeks, maybe every few days if I'm lucky, to we're making 10 plus sales. We've averaged 10 sales at least every single day for 2 months now. We've got a huge team of affiliates now that are posting videos for us every single day. We've started running ads on TikTok. Soon we're going to be running ads on Meta. And it's crazy because it really was just one run that I went on where I was thinking about our business and I had this idea that completely took us from this kind of trickle of business to, oh my gosh, I think this is working. And I just want to share like kind of the behind the scenes of that journey, just honestly for my own record, so I can go back to this and remember what it was like kind of as things were just starting to get going, because I still feel like we have a long way to go and we're going to grow a lot in the next few months. And I just want to kind of mark that for myself, but I also want to be able to share this story for anyone else out there who has kind of been messing around with entrepreneurial ideas, has been testing the water in certain areas, but hasn't necessarily been able to take that leap from like, I'm trying things every once in a while, making a sale, to like, holy crap, this is a business. I really want to not just capture the decision that I made that changed everything, but also like the process that led up to it, because I think that process was really important. So if we rewind to just about a year ago, right before we started, we're in April 2026 right now. We officially launched this business in April of 2025. I think it was April 23rd, which we're coming up on a year, I think like in a week and a half or something like that. The foundation that was there first was me and my friend Bailey had been doing like social media management and had been trying to scale some sort of social media business. I had been doing that personally, had just been kind of a freelance social media manager, and that had been going decently well. My friend Bailey wanted to join. And as we were grinding through this, like, how do we find new clients sort of thing? How do we grow this business? We're experiencing churn. People are not going to work with us for more than 6 months, and then we're losing them, and we got to find a whole new thing. We started to realize how overwhelming that was. And even for some of my friends who have marketing agencies that they have successfully scaled, they just didn't seem to be attractive businesses to us. Like, they just seemed really overwhelming. They seemed really, like, even if they were big, sometimes the margins weren't awesome. It was really complex. They had big teams. Their overhead became really like a lot. And the more that Bailey and I looked into it, the more we were like, yeah, maybe this isn't it. And also we had this brutal month at the end of 2024 where we had 3 clients that were really paying all the bills for us. In a matter of like 2 weeks, all 3 of those clients were like, hey, we're going to pause for you guys for like most of 2025. So we lost all our revenue. So we're kind of in this scrambling place of like, okay, we don't really think this agency business model is going to keep working. And we also don't necessarily think that that's the ideal in the long run. What if we created a business that would scale much more efficiently and be simple, and at the same time sort of pivot to doing something that we could be social media managers for, like we could do the marketing for, because we know we're good at this, but it's a business that we own, so we can never fire ourselves. We're not going to lose ourselves as a client. And so we started experimenting with different like product ideas. At one point we were thinking about some form of medication, well, not medication, but some form of like supplement for people with ADHD. I have ADHD. I've looked into all kinds of different things to help with that. We looked into coffee products because we both love coffee. We looked into, a couple different like other supplement things, and we ended up landing on a sun product because my wife, Gabrielle, had been making our own sunscreen for the last like probably 6 to 8 months. She'd been experimenting with different kinds of sunscreens. And we just have a massive distrust for a lot of like the big conglomerates that try to sell food products or skincare products with like a million ingredients and all these chemicals on them that you don't understand. You don't know where everything's coming from. They have natural flavors. Like, we just like to read all the ingredients of things that we put in and on our body. And so we were like, okay, what if we tried to sell this sunscreen stuff that Gabs has been making? Because we love it. Our friends loved it. And I was like, I think we could actually scale this. And so we pivoted to that April of 2025. And like I said, for a year, it was like kind of a slog. It was tough. I started eventually taking some freelance clients back on just personally. Bailey was doing some of his separate freelance stuff. But eventually Bailey had to tap out because like he has a kid. He had another one on the way. He just had his second baby like yesterday or 2 days ago, which is sick. Congrats, Bailey. But eventually he had to tap out. He is an amazing he was in aerospace before he joined and tried to build this business with me. And he had all these businesses knocking on his door, trying to get him back. And so he has this like comfortable, safe job that's going to pay him really well and utilize this degree that he worked hard for. And so eventually he pieced out, and I'm continuing to do just the freelance stuff. And also every once in a while I'm posting about Ritual Organics. I'm trying to figure out how to make sales. I'm trying to figure out meta ads, partnerships. Like, I'm messing around with all kinds of things. But like I said, we're making sales every couple of days, maybe doing a couple $100s in sales every month at its best. But I'm still trying, and I'm still believing, because I really believe in this product. Every single person that I've given it to, that I've talked to about it, loves it, unless they're like allergic to lavender, which is like rare, but some people don't like the lavender in it. But I really believe in this product. And so I'm like, I know I can make it work if I just keep trying and poking around. And one thing that was a big part of my conviction was that TikTok Shop was going to be a big deal for us. I really believed that for a long time, even though we were posting videos all the time and tagging the product. And I think we had made like 7 sales on TikTok in the entirety of 2025, despite our efforts. And so I'm posting a bunch on TikTok, haven't really seen results, but I know a ton of other brands that had gotten their start because of TikTok Shop, and just the way the algorithm can pick things up, the way products spread out and gain popularity in TikTok. I'm like, I know it's possible, and I think our brand could do it. And so, yeah, I'm trying different things. I'm testing different types of content, and nothing's really working. And then I'm on this run one day, and I was like, I want to like kind of figure out how to grow affiliates. I know TikTok Shop is awesome because all the affiliate stuff is just built right into it. I don't have to like have some separate software that's tracking sales, that's tracking commission, that's tracking all that stuff. I just know TikTok has it built in. And so I was like, what if I just started making content instead of trying to sell my product directly to consumers? I tried to sell it to affiliates as a great product that they could share and help people with. And so I started making videos where I'm like, hey, my name's John. I'm the founder of this company. I think I would hold up this jar and be like, hey, I'm the founder of this company, Ritual Organics, and we're looking for affiliates. That was my hook. We pay 30% commission. We're a small company, but I believe we have like the capacity to blow up. And I would really love to have you guys as affiliates, especially if you're into organic, natural skincare and you check the ingredients on everything like we do, and you spend a lot of time in the sun like we do, and you're just crunchy granola, like you're just our style of person. If that's the type of person that you are and you're a TikTok Shop affiliate, let's talk. And I started having these videos get like hundreds of thousands of views. Like, for whatever reason, the algorithm was like, yes, this. And TikTok has this really cool feature where you can offer refundable samples to affiliates, which basically just means they pay for it up front, but then you refund it if they generate 1 sale, which is a pretty good policy on both sides. It mitigates my risk because I don't have the money to just send out a ton of free samples to a bunch of affiliates. And at the same time, it mitigates their risk because if they're decent affiliates and they can just generate 1 sale, they're going to make commission and they're going to make their money back from that first purchase. So we started getting like dozens and dozens and dozens of these people buying these refundable samples. And yeah, all of a sudden we went from like trickle of sales to, oh my gosh, we're making like a lot of sales every day. We had a 17 sale day, and 10 of those sales are affiliates who want to help us sell more. And so it's this crazy snowball effect that started, and you could probably hear it in my voice. It was like crazy energizing. It's like, oh my gosh, not only am I making sales, but I'm also like building this epic team of people that are going to help me sell more and are going to grow alongside me. And I've been getting to know these people. Like, we created a Discord, which is just a fancy group chat basically, and there's channels you can have different kinds of conversations in. And every day we have a handful of people joining that. We're, I think, over 100 in there now. There's literally over 100 affiliates in there now. People are introducing themselves from all over the country. They're sharing their stories. I'm highlighting wins and people who are making sales. We just had an affiliate the other day that made 5 sales in the course of like 2 or 3 videos, which is just so cool. Like, it's just popping off. And again, like one of the pain points I would say at many points in this journey of being an entrepreneur is this feeling of being alone. Like, if I don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. I think my guess is that a lot of entrepreneurs feel that way. There's this loneliness of like, I'm the only one looking at any of this stuff. I have to figure out sales tax. I have to figure out legal stuff. I have to figure out trademarks and all this stuff that, like, as a 20, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm a 30-year-old guy, almost 31. As a 31-year-old guy, it's like, I don't have a clue about any of this stuff. My brain doesn't work on the levels of trademarks and legal things and taxes. Like, I hate that stuff. I hate spreadsheets. I'm like the most type B guy you'll ever meet. I'm a creative. I love marketing. I love storytelling, but don't give me a freaking spreadsheet. But now it's like, I'm the only guy doing all of that. My wife is trying to help every once in a while with the business, but she is busy with her other jobs and doesn't have a ton of capacity. I don't have Bailey to help anymore, and I don't have the money to hire a team to do anything because we're just making this trickle of sales. And even now that we have TikTok shop ripping, there's like this cash flow issue where it's like, it's starting to accelerate. And so I'm needing to buy more and more product, which means pretty much every cent that I'm making, I'm just putting towards buying the next round of product or paying my manufacturing fees, all of that. And it's just tough. And there's nobody besides me that's going to be there to figure any of it out. And yeah, especially when things are not going well, that is a really lonely feeling. It's really hard, and you really want to look for people to blame. In my lower moments, I've blamed my wife, I've blamed Bailey, I've blamed friends of mine that haven't shown up in different ways. And it's all just a projection of the pain that you feel of being alone. And it can cause some really unhealthy patterns. Which is obviously, all those things are places that I've had to work through, because I love, there's a book by a guy named Jocko Willink, who's like this big military guy, and it's called Extreme Accountability, I think, or Extreme Ownership. And his whole premise in the book is like, there's no such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders. And great leaders take accountability for everything, and they take ownership of everything, and just have this massive level of agency. And I can just tell you, having run this business and having tried to figure it out, and I've banged my head against the wall for months and months and months, it's so easy to want to let go of that ownership and be like, someone else should own this. Someone else should take responsibility here. There's such a temptation to do that. And I think that kind of victim mindset that's so tempting is the exact thing that for probably a long time prevented me from doing that kind of innovative content strategy, like continuing to try different things. Like, whenever you're just telling me whenever you're telling yourself you're waiting on someone else to figure it out for you, you're going to slow down your own efforts to like try to figure things out. And I think there were plenty of times where I was kind of just sitting on my hands because I wanted someone else to save my business. But I think that breakthrough that I had of like, oh my gosh, what if I started looking for affiliates instead of just trying to sell the product directly myself? That came because of a season I was in a week where I was like, you know what, F it. Like, I'm going to get out there and try to figure this crap out. I'm going to start posting different things. I'm going to try different strategies. I'm going to post 3 times a day. I literally did that on TikTok. I think I posted 3 times a day for like 9 months straight or something like that. Yeah. It's a grind. Like, you got to grind. And so I'm a huge believer that especially now that it's 2026. You've got Claude, you've got social media, you've got all of these things, these tailwinds that are helping people blow up. It's never been easier to start a business, but at the same time, you have to be willing to eat glass, to use an Alex Hormozy phrase. You have to eat glass and deal with all the things that nobody wants to deal with, which most of the time, at least for me, is just being willing to pull out my phone and make a video every single day, at least one, but up to 10 sometimes, no matter what. Like, that feels like eating glass some days, especially when you just don't want to put yourself out there. You're tired. You don't feel like you want to make content. But I did it. And as long as you're willing to do it, you can sell things. I don't have a business degree. I don't know that much about skincare. I don't know that much about a lot of things I wish I knew a lot about since I started a business. But we had a great product that we believed in, and I was willing to put in the work and figure out content and social media. And I still haven't paid myself a single cent out of this business. But we just had our first $10,000 month in revenue. It was like $10,200 in March last month, which is just insane. And I really believe we're going to break that record this month. And we're going into summer, that's sunscreen time. That's when you're going to need sun protection. So I think our product is positioned really well to blow up and go like properly viral. So who knows if that's actually going to happen, but I believe it can. And I believe that anyone with a half good idea and the willingness to grind, especially on marketing, because even if you don't have a product, you can get a business spun up with great marketing, and with a willingness to just put in the work on social media. I really believe that 2026 is a great time to do it. I think it's actually safer to try to do something like that than to try to find some job in the corporate world. I worked in the software industry for a long time. If I was in the software industry right now, I'd be crapping my pants, just with how good AI is getting at all the stuff I used to do. It's so good. One of the best comparisons I've heard with this AI stuff is like, people got really scared when social media happened and all of a sudden YouTube existed, and you didn't need to be a part of some huge media conglomerate or live in Hollywood to have a successful media company. Like, anyone with a camera and a good idea could be making tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, with a YouTube channel, just doing it on their own or with a small team. That same transition that kind of made the Hollywood cinema industry small but made the small creators big, I think that transition is coming to entrepreneurship. I think it's going to be harder to have like a large business, or there's going to be less businesses with huge teams and tons of people that they're employing, but there's just going to be more businesses, period, because there's going to be all these little like micro niches for softwares. There's going to be all kinds of little like creator products that start to go out and gain traction. And I think that's really exciting. I think it's scary. I think all the layoffs that are coming because of AI are scary, but I believe that there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur. So if you have even a shred of that itch in you right now to start something or to see if you can build something independently or with a small team, I just say go for it. I live in Hawaii, and the only way to like really make a sustainable living out here is either to work like a dog in the service industry for a hotel or a restaurant or something like that, or start like a surf school, which a lot of people do, and it's a grind, or start a business. And there are so many people out here that have started dope businesses that they make a great living doing. I have a friend named John who started a cacao company called Happy to Be Here with his brother and cousin, I think. They absolutely crush it. They're making so much money. They sell a great product. They have an amazing brand. It's so cool. I mean, that's just one example. My friend Caleb started an amazing coffee shop called The Bird's Nest. I go there pretty much every day. It's a huge part of the community now. So many friends who have supplement companies. My friend Travis started an amazing parasite detox company. He's really like the prototype of what showed me what is possible with an e-commerce business for like a random dude who's never done it. He's balling way harder than I am. He's had $100,000 months plus back to back to back to back. Like I watched him go from zero to crushing it like crazy. And so I live in a place where over and over and over again, I'm seeing that like individuals with a drive and a creativity and a willingness to do content can absolutely rip in 2026 with business. And I think that's just going to come more and more. So I'm bullish on that. I'm bullish on Ritual Organics. I think we're going to blow up this year. I think we're just going to keep growing. I don't want to like grow unsustainably, so I'm probably going to try to keep the reins a little tight and prevent us from going like crazy viral and trying to get into all this debt and buying all this product that we then are stuck with. I'm trying to figure out how to have integrity with that. But I do think we're going to grow a lot this year, and I just think the sky's kind of the limit for Ritual Organics. I just got to figure out how to be legit about more things there, because there's always a million things that I could be doing much better at with it. So that's my story. It's about 20 minutes in. I didn't really know what the plan was here, but I hope if you are a creative person or you're in a job that you hate or you want to start a business, this was helpful to you in some way. Thanks so much for watching.